Senator Hughes.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Emergency Management and National Recovery and Resilience, Senator McKenzie. As we continue to battle the COVID-19 pandemic, many people are becoming increasingly affected by their inability to work because of lockdown and movement restrictions. Can the Minister please outline what financial support the Liberal and Nationals government is providing to people who've lost hours of work in areas who are currently locked down, including Commonwealth hotspots in and around Sydney?
The Minister for Emergency Management and National Recovery and Resilience, Senator McKenzie.
Thank you, Mr President. And I thank the Senator for her question and her advocacy and passion for her home state of New South Wales. And I think everyone in this chamber stands with those that are experiencing a lockdown in New South Wales right now. Well, COVID-19 has had an unprecedented impact, not just in Australia but around the world. More than 4 million lives have been lost, and we're facing the largest global economic impact since the Great Depression.
Order.
In the face of a once-in-a-century pandemic, the Australian spirit has shone through. Early and decisive actions in 2020 saved lives and livelihoods. We closed our borders. We established the National Cabinet. We invested, as a federal government, $291 billion in direct assistance to individuals and businesses to cushion the impact. And we know that these measures have had a significant impact on all Australians and have ensured that we've been able to weather this storm together. And when we look globally, not all countries can say that. The Liberal and Nationals government has stood side by side with all members of the Australian community throughout the pandemic and will continue to do so as the Delta variant wreaks havoc in so many of our states and communities. As the virus evolves, so does our government's response, because there is no guidebook for COVID. And that's why I'm proud to be part of a government that's delivering targeted, localised, individual support payments to those who live or work in a Commonwealth-declared hotspot. There are 2 tiers of payments. If you have lost more than 20 hours of work as a result of the lockdown, you are eligible for a $750 payment. If you've lost between 8 and 20 hours as a result of that declaration, you're eligible for $450. And if you're on income support payments and have been working, you are also eligible for a $200 payment if you've lost more than 8 hours. I would recommend that those who are in those areas apply online to keep Services Australia's phone lines open for those.
Senator Hughes, a supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. On the 28th of July, Prime Minister Morrison announced an expansion to the COVID disaster payment. Can the minister provide details on the increased financial assistance being provided through the scheme and how this will affect communities in lockdown?
Senator McKenzie.
Thank you. If people have lost hours due to the impact of lockdown, I do encourage them to apply. Log on to Services Australia or MyGov and actually apply for these income support payments. We've rolled them out in Victoria. We're rolling them out in South Australia. They're helping and assisting people in New South Wales right now and will continue to do so as that lockdown is extended. And they will be available to those Australians in those Commonwealth-declared hotspots in South East Queensland, because we know that this is tough. Being locked down is tough. You have to shut your business. You can't go to work. You have to homeschool your kids. And it doesn't just impact your financial situation, it also impacts your mental health situation. So we have a raft of payments in addition to this. The pandemic leave payment assists you so that if you are caring for someone with COVID, or indeed you catch COVID, that we will be standing with you to ensure that you have financial support.
Senator McKenzie. Senator Hughes, a final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the minister outline the standard process for the COVID-19 disaster payment that will be undertaken for future lockdowns should these occur?
Senator McKenzie.
Well, as this pandemic has rolled through the world and indeed our own nation over the last 18 months, state and federal governments have had to adjust their responses accordingly. We've used science, we've used data, we've used evidence. We've used the advice of our medical officials, which is exactly what we should be doing. We should be taking the politics out of our COVID response. And that's why I look forward to those opposite, supporting Australians to get vaccinated as fast as possible, because that's how we can actually get out of being locked down. actually stopping those lockdowns by ensuring that Australians aren't just getting Pfizer, aren't just getting Moderna, but are actually lining up to get AstraZeneca.
Senator
and I
Wong.
look forward to Labor Party senators tweeting, putting in their newsletters, making sure at their local branch meeting they're encouraging Australians of all ages to adopt the medical advice, get vaccinated and access AstraZeneca.
Senator McKenzie, time for the answer has expired.